I was going to talk to you today about my spring skincare regime, and I was specifically going to mention the Beauty of Joseon sunscreen and the Geek and Gorgeous melting cleansing balm. But I'm not going to do that after all, because I was also going to be talking about a brand who asked me to collaborate with them. Now, instead of showing you that brand, I'm not going to do that because I am absolutely fuming about it. But what I'm going to do is get ready on camera and tell you about my experience with them. Right, let me pin my hair back. I won't talk about the products I'm putting on my skin specifically because this is going to be more of a story time. So before I tell you about this brand and why I'm so annoyed with them, let me just tell you a little bit about what it's like being a YouTuber, especially after nearly 3 years. When I started my channel, I did not think about making money on it. I didn't really know how you could make money. I knew diddly squat about it, to be honest. So it was 2021 and I'd been watching YouTube for about 10 years at that point, maybe a little bit less. So I started the channel and like I say, I didn't really know how you made money on YouTube. But once I started to learn about that, I would kind of get seduced by brands approaching me. Now, when I say brands, I mean, yeah, they were brands, but I mean, I didn't know any of them. They were obscure brands that no one had really heard of. So fast forward to a couple of months ago, just after I got back from holiday, and I was approached by this brand. And by the way, I'm not going to name them, or at least not at this point, because I don't feel that I need to name them really, because actually their products aren't too bad. And I'll tell you about those in a minute. But it was the way the whole thing was handled. So they approached me by email and they said, and the woman who approached me said they'd be interested in collaborating with me. I mean, collaborating. We know what that means. Sponsoring me, that's what it means. Let's be honest about it. It's sponsored content. That's what they're after. So they were willing to pay me to do a specific video about their products. Well, actually, first they said, so when a brand approaches you, they ask you how much you charge for specific types of videos. Now, I have done one sponsored video, and that was for the Wylera Dream Waver hair device. And I was happy to do that because I really liked the product. And in fact, it turned out, I think that went quite well. And I negotiated a price, which was a bit scary because I'd never done that before. And that was all good and it seemed to go very well. And then they asked me to do a couple more for their own sake rather than for my channel. So that was good. So I did a couple of those. And then I've also done stuff for Nearer, but there they just sent me the product. And then if somebody clicks on the affiliate link, I get a small percentage. That's what affiliate links are for. So I have earned a little bit of money from Nearer, but I've been very honest about it. And as those of you who've watched my recent video, I've said exactly what I thought about it, and unfortunately it didn't do anything for me. That's not to say it wouldn't do something for somebody else, but not for me. So that's the kind of background to when you're approached by a company. So I came back from holiday and this brand approached me to do a video for them about their product. They were going to send me a load of their products and I was going to trial them and they were going to pay me for that, which I thought sounded rather good, although I wanted to do my due diligence, and I did do my due diligence up to a point. So I looked up the name of the directors of the company, because that's easy to do here. I don't know what it's like in the States, but here you can look up any company on Companies House. It's a government website, and you can see who the directors are, where they live, and then you can see if they're directors of other companies, etc. So I did all that. And partly why I did that was because there wasn't much on the Our Story section of the website. Now, I like to know, ideally, who owns the company, why they started the company. Obviously, I'm interested in female founder brands particularly. But I like to know what the story is, and there didn't seem to be any story, but their shtick was that they cut out the middleman. I know that a lot of brands like to say that. And they went direct to factories where they had their products made. Now, as it turns out, their products, I looked on a box, their products are made in South Korea, so that sounds quite positive. Anyway, they sent me the products. We'd agreed a date for when I was going to do this video, when I was going to post it. We'd agreed a fee. and I started to trial the products. There were quite a few of them. There was a night cream, there was an eye cream, or an eye serum actually. There was a day cream, there was a day serum, and a neck cream. And I'm always a little bit wary of neck creams, not wary of them, but I just think you don't need a neck cream. I know there's a City Beauty one, isn't there, that a lot of people like, but I can't try that because it's got fragrance in it. So I thought, well, okay, we'll give them a go. And they come in nice packaging and they feel quite expensive. And their whole shtick is that their products are much cheaper than an equivalent product. So they kind of give you some examples, but you have to hunt around. The brand didn't give me those examples. I hunted around, but I couldn't actually really see any similarity between this brand and the ingredients in it, in the products, to other brands. It didn't look like you could look at L&S or you could look at another higher priced brand and say they've got exactly the same ingredients, but they're charging X and they're charging Y. It wasn't as simple as that. So I wasn't completely clear on their marketing, but I thought, well, let's give them a benefit of the doubt. Let's give it a go. Anyway, I then realised that I hadn't got a contract from them because the woman who'd approached me said, we're going to send you a contract with a proper brief, blah, blah, blah. They didn't send me a brief, actually. They said, here's the brief, but it wasn't a brief at all. It was just a bit of info about the company. So I like to have a brief because obviously I'm being paid for this. I want to know what I'm supposed to do and I want to make sure I deliver it. Anyway, no brief was forthcoming. I emailed, finally got in touch with them through Instagram on a direct message. And they said, oh, you need to email so-and-so. So I emailed this other person at the company and she said, oh, sorry, the other one's left. Yes, that's fine. And I think I was a bit peed off by then because I thought, well, I hadn't heard anything. And I thought, well, actually, do you know what? I'm not going to bother with this because I don't feel comfortable about it. I don't think the company are behaving very well, so I'm going to pull the plug. But I said to them, I'm happy to talk about the products. I just don't pay me. And, I'll give my honest opinion and I'll do it as part of a skincare video and that's it. And so they said, oh, that's fine. And then a few days ago, I decided to approach them because I couldn't see that they had a US website. And also I wanted to ask if they had a discount code. So I got this email back from this woman and she just said, oh, we haven't got a US, we don't ship to the US, she said. And she knows full well, I said to the previous person that my audience is US and UK based. So I was quite annoyed about that and no discount code. And then she said, oh, and the best way to put content out is on Instagram. And I thought, well, I don't do Instagram. I mean, I do it, but not very often. I was really annoyed about that. So when I heard that, I thought, right, I'm just pulling the plug. I'm so angry about it because they know full well, they should know full well who I am and what and the content that I put out. So why approach me in the first place if you're not US, if you don't ship to the US and you can't give me a discount code? I mean, it's terrible, really. So let me just tell you why I was really looking forward to talking about the products, actually. Well, one product in particular. So they're all really nicely packaged, as I say. And what I liked about the ingredients is the night cream did have some retinol palmitate in it, which is the lowest grade, as it were, the lowest form of retinol, which is fine. I'm not bothered about that because I really compromised my skin barrier last year. I didn't want to mess it up again. So I thought, well, being gentle with my actives is fine. But what I really liked, what I specifically liked, was they had a lot of peptides in them. And because there's such a lot of talk and noise about copper peptides, I thought, well, that sounds right up my alley. I'd be really interested in trying them. So that was one of the things that attracted me. Oops, I think I've slightly overdone this, haven't I? And I did enjoy using the products. Now, as those of you who've watched my channel before will know, I don't expect topical products to do anything much to my skin. They might make it look a bit less red. They're not really going to make a lot of difference to my texture, I don't think. They might do, but I mean, I'm nearly 70. I'm going to be 70 in September. So I think my skin is what it is. And I think all I can do is protect it from getting much worse. But of course, it's wrinkled and all of that. But I was interested in the peptide side of things, so I did enjoy using the products. But actually, the real game changer, and I don't use that term lightly, or at least I felt it was a game changer, although who knows, it was the eye serum. Now, I'm not saying their eye serum was the best eye serum in the world because I've never tried an eye serum before. But honestly, it really did help to make my under eye concealer go on much more smoothly, I felt. Although actually today everything seems to have gone quite well and I haven't used it, but hey ho. So I'm really quite annoyed with myself actually, as well as with them. I should have done more due diligence, and alarm bells should have rung when I noticed that the directors didn't have any background in cosmetics at all. I can't remember what the company was. I think it was some kind of marketing company that the directors had founded. So their background was in marketing. I mean, I'm sure they have advisors and all that sort of thing, but all their shtick is that they're producing products that are much cheaper because they're direct to consumer, a little bit like Beauty Pie does actually, because Beauty Pie's shtick is that they're direct to consumer, that they're a direct to consumer brand, so cutting out the middleman, which is all very well and good, and I'm sure it's got a lot of value. But from their website, there was no interesting story there at all, so that should have really rung alarm bells for me. But the thing is, to be completely honest with you, I love doing YouTube. I love it now. I'm so into it. And I'd like to make it my full-time job. In an ideal world, I would like to be able to give up my full-time job in the next year or so and do YouTube full-time. That is my ambition. Now, the way you make money on YouTube is from ads. Now, and then you make money if people click on your links, on your affiliate links. And then you also can make money from sponsored videos, sponsored content. And those are really the three ways you make money on YouTube. And then, of course, you can, I think there are memberships these days that you can set up and that sort of thing. But this does take time, and my audience is tiny. I haven't quite got to 4,000 subscribers yet. So if you're watching this, please subscribe. It would make a huge difference to me. I'd like to get to 5 really in the next month or so if I possibly could. So that's really my ambition, and that's why I suppose, I mean, I'm not saying I snatched at this this potential partnership, but I probably didn't do as much due diligence as I should have done. But we live and learn. This is the thing, don't we? So I have completely given up on this brand. I'm not going to go anywhere near it, and I'm certainly not going to do any Instagram videos for them or anything like that. They can sail away, and good luck to them. So let's pop some lipstick on, and then we are ready for the day. So there you have it. That is my story about why I'm not doing a sponsored video for a particular skincare brand. I'm sorry that this isn't a video about my spring skincare regime, but I will be doing one soon, I promise. And in the meantime, let me know your thoughts about this story. I think it's a lesson learnt for me, and I will definitely not agree to do a sponsored post unless I've done a lot more due diligence. Now, all the products I've used today will be listed and linked below, and I've tried to use a mixture of high-end and drugstore as well. And if you've enjoyed this video, I'd be so grateful if you'd subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up and hit the notification bell. And if you'd like more of me, I have a monthly newsletter. And in that, I don't just talk about beauty, fashion and lifestyle, but also music, books, podcasts, TV, film, and all the other bits and bobs that make our lives worthwhile. And thank you so much for watching. It means the absolute world to me. It really does, particularly this rather rambly video. And I hope you're all doing really well. And I look forward to seeing you on my next video. Bye.